everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for you to be here today. I am on day 3 and I want to get straight into what I want to talk about today. So today I want to talk about temptation and how we can fight it, avoid it, things like that. And I'm just going to talk about things that I did when I tried to disconnect from things that were hindering me from being a better person and just keeping me from being a better person overall. So if there's anything in your life that is not good for you and you're trying to cut it out, I just want to talk about some of the things that worked for me. Whether it was things that I was like addicted to, places I was addicted to, people I was addicted to, situations, just anything in general that I did whenever I wanted to, kind of walk away from that. These were some things that I did. So number one, I cut people off that were bad for me. And what I mean by cutting people off that were bad for me, I'm not talking about bad people in general. Some of these people that I had to cut off were good people. They were people that were there for me. They were people that, that loved me and cared about me. But these people were just bad for me to be around. Whether it was because of things that they did or the person they brought out in me, whatever it was, if I felt that they were not helping me in a good way or bringing out the best in me, then I just cut them off. And honestly, that was like one of the biggest things that was a blessing to me, was cutting people off that I knew were not on the same track that I wanted to be on. Um, and and yeah, I mean, it's really, really hard to do because, like I said, some of these people love you, some of these people care about you extremely, and for me this was the hardest thing to do, and still to this day it's hard. It's an everyday struggle for me to keep those ties, just cut and not going back to places that I used to want to be around or people that I used to want to be around, and just staying focused and on where I want to be one day. So number 2 kind of ties into that. So avoiding places that I knew were bad for me. So also, like I said, people, places, just anything in general. If there's a certain place that you would go to, and that you just when you're there, this certain energy comes out in you that you don't like, stay away. Number 3 is really good. This is something that I feel helps me even to this day, because without doing this, I promise you it would be so much harder. So number 3 is I surrounded myself with people that I wanted to be like. So if you have an idea or a goal in your mind of the person you want to be, the place you want to be in 10 years, 5 years from now, find people that are already there or that are on their way there, and surround yourself with those kind of people. Make it a point to go out of your way to be around them. Like, there's people in my life that live really far from me, but these people are really, really good for me. And because I know that they're on the path that I want to be on, and they're in a place where I want to be eventually, I have to make it a point to constantly just be around these people and see the lifestyle that they live, how they live it, and be reminded, like, this is where I want to be one day. And so it makes my struggle easier for me. Um, so yeah, number 4 is also a really good one. Having a go-to person for when you're weak. So usually I'm pretty good when I'm having like a moment of weakness. I am married, so sometimes I'll tell my husband, hey babe, I kind of want to avoid this place because I feel like whatever. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. So I did used to smoke every now and then. I wasn't like an everyday cigarette smoker or like hookah smoker, but I did decide to cut that out of my life. So I don't want to smoke hookah anymore, right? And so there are places that we used to go that I just asked my husband to be respectful, and he is. Um, be respectful of the fact that I don't want to do that anymore. And it is a temptation for me sometimes when we go to, we go out and like there's hookah and he's smoking and maybe his friend is smoking and whatever, and there's a lot of smoking going on and I'm just sitting there and I know I can resist. I know that I can resist. I know I don't have a problem with that. And there's many times when he's smoking hookah here at home and I'm just, I just avoid it altogether. So it's not something that's hard for me, but if I can keep myself away from that, I'd rather do it. And so I ask him just to be respectful in that aspect, and he is. And so, yeah, so he's the person that I kind of talk to when I'm weak. Other than that, I'm pretty strong, but I do have another go-to person that I will call, that I haven't called as of yet, thank God, for any moment of weakness because I don't feel like I've been to that point, um, where I need to call this person. But I do have somebody to call in case I ever get there. And I feel like that is very, very important. Sometimes you need to reach out to somebody and say, hey, this is my struggle. This is what I'm going through. I feel like I've connected well with you. I feel like you could be a really, really good influence for me. And I want to ask you if you will be my go to person for whenever I'm weak. And if you have to drive to that person or that person has to drive to you, or maybe if you just need to FaceTime them, or maybe y'all need to meet up for a quick cup of coffee or whatever, just so that they can reassure you that it's okay to be weak. It's okay to still fight temptation. That's going to come every day. That's never going to leave. Um, and, just give you that love and that comfort that you need in that time. Um, I just feel like that's something that's so, so important. And I feel like as long as you have that, you'll be able to get through it. Without that, for me personally, it would be impossible. Um, so number 5 is also a good one. Okay, so I have a lot of I have a lot of good ones. I've literally said that about everyone. Sorry. Um, so number 5 is just starting your day with prayer and scripture. So something that I did whenever I started to take a different direction for my life. And this is just, like I said, I only talk about my experience. I'm not saying that you need to do this for your life. I know we're all from different religions and different backgrounds, and that's okay. So whatever your religion teaches you, or if you're not a part of a religion, whatever you feel like will center you at the beginning of your day, I think you should do that. So for me, it was starting with prayer and scripture. So I created a prayer room in my home. And I did that because I feel like starting my day with prayer and starting my day with reading scripture has helped me to remember every day that, Jessi, this is the person you want to be. This is the path that you're on. This is the person that you want to please. I want to be pleasing to God. I want my life to be pleasing to God. And so just talking to him every day, talking to God every day, first thing in the morning, and reading scripture, it really just inspires me and uplifts me, if that makes sense. So it's just a very uplifting way to start my day, and I love it. I love it, and it really, really does help. So that's that. And then I have number 6, which is also another good one. Um, so I feel like whenever you're transitioning from a person that you no longer want to be into a person that you want to become, I feel like it's a good thing to let everyone know, everyone that's known you and everyone that's getting to know you, that you are trying to better yourself. And I think we should not be ashamed about being open about that and speaking it, because then people can say, hey, you know what? I am so proud of you, and I'm so happy that you're bettering yourself. And you know what? If you need me, here's my number. Here's my contact information. Here's my address. If you need me to be there for you, for any reason, connect with me. I'll hook up with you whenever you need me. And so when people know that you're trying to better yourself, it'll give them an opportunity to reach out to you, to offer help to you if they can in any way. And not only that, sometimes they can relate to your struggle. So I found it good. And I found it very good. Sorry, guys. I still struggle on this vlogging thing because, yeah, there's a lot of talking going on. So anyways, yes, I do think that it's good to let people know, and do not be ashamed of whatever it is that you're trying to break away from. I think the more people know and the more you're open about it, the easier it will be for you to connect with people, because that's how you'll learn if there's somebody around you that may have struggled with the same thing in the past. Um, Number 7. This was a very, 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 very big one for me. Actually, the biggest one on my list, and probably why I listed it last. So, for me, I had to connect to a church, which was my home church that I love, that I will never ever leave. Like, it is my favorite church in the whole world. I've been to many churches, I've tried many churches, and it's just, no. It's just like, that's my home church, and I'm just never going to leave there. Like, they could kick me out and I'd still go. Which, honestly, I don't know if they would ever kick me out. Probably because they know that I'd still go. So yeah. Anyways, so connecting to a church, a mosque, a temple, depending on your religious background. So whatever it is, like I said, whatever it is that you believe in, or whatever you feel like you need to connect to keep you centered, I think you need to do that. For me, that was very, very helpful. I am connected to my church. I try to stay pretty involved. I try to associate myself the most with the people from there and only there. Just because, like I said, I want to surround myself with people that I want to be like, and all these people are on the same path as me. And so that makes me happy. And so connect and stay connected. So I feel like sometimes for me, I have struggled with staying connected, because I feel like I'll get to a certain point where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing so good. Like, look at me. Yeah, check me out. Like, I am on the right path and I am killing it. Okay. Yes, you are on the right path. You are killing it, but you need to stay connected. The reason why I'm saying this is because, just like, I'm trying to think of an example. Okay. So I have my laptop connected right now to the outlet because it needs battery. And if I unplug it, it'll keep going, right? And it'll keep working, and it'll be okay for a while. Eventually it's going to drain, and without that connection, it's going to die. And so just for me, in general, that's how I understand that I need to stay connected, because I need that power source. And so, because I just feel like in day-to-day life and just in general, sometimes we face so many things. Sometimes we can have a horrible day. Sometimes we can have an argument with our spouse that just completely just floors us, and then we just want to go out and just destroy the world. Or I do sometimes. But yeah, so staying connected for me was a very, very, very big thing. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. And like I said, I am speaking from my experience, and I do want to know if there were some things that I didn't hit on that maybe you guys have used as far as resisting temptation and avoiding, the lifestyle that you once lived. Just leave it in the comments below and let me know. And so that way, maybe next time if I talk about temptation again, or if anybody asks, I will give them even more information and tips to go on. Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for joining in again today. I love you guys so much. Millions of kisses. Love you. You'll have a wonderful day.